this is Frank White. I was wanting to know, my grandson wanted to get a guitar, and he saw a video on the YouTube about a Chibson.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a Chibson in there?
No, it's a Chinese Gibson. They're knockoff guitars. Can't sell those at the store.
Oh, you don't sell them in there?
No, we sell Gibsons. We don't sell Chibsons.
Oh, you don't even sell them used?
No, because we can't buy them in use because they're fakes. They're illegal.
Oh, because there was a video he had Tom Murphy on there from Murphy Labs. You ever heard of him?
Yeah.
And he had a guitar player on there named Joe Bonamassa. You heard of him?
Yeah.
Okay. And then there's a guy came in there, had a real 57. His name was Tom Bukavac. You know him?
I don't know him.
What's up? How's it going? Today's a big day. Today's a very big day. Okay. Robert Baker. Okay. This guy's got 500,000 subscribers. Okay. He decided to go over a Chibson, a fake Gibson. And if you've been watching this, I've been saying I should order like the cheapest guitar on the planet. What do you call it? A Chibson, something off of Amazon. Put these pickups in there. Tone specific vintage spec 59 pickups. Put these in there and listen to how close I can get to a real 59. I've been saying that for a while. I still might do it, right? But Robert Baker got together, let's see here, Tom Murphy, Nick Glaser, Phil Jones, Joe Glaser. I don't know these guys. But anyway, he got together some real experts on these old guitars, on these guitars, Gibson guitars. And he examined the Chibson. Well, guess who he invited to bring their original Golden Era Les Paul so they could compare it to a Chibson? Guess who Robert Baker invited to show up with the goods, the 58 burst, to compare it to a Chibson? He invited Tom Bukavac. Okay, that's who he invited. And in this video, you'll see these guys talking about a Chibson. You know, they're worried about people getting fooled by these guitars, right? And just in the intro, when you heard the phone call, that's why I call Guitar Center, because I want to make sure people understand that there are reputable dealers that won't handle these guitars, right? If you're looking to buy a Gibson, go buy it from a reputable dealer. You know, they Guitar Center will not handle Chibsons. They won't have them. They won't have them in the store. So if you find out it's a Chibson also, and let's say it got past Guitar Center, you could take it back, and they'll take it back, like almost 100%. So, me, I've never known anybody that's bought a Chibson that didn't know it was a Chibson, by the way. Okay. Apparently these guys do. I'd never met anybody who's bought one. Maybe they have. I don't know. I'm sure some people try to pass these off. Anyway, so we have in the video here. Okay. This is what we have. We have these guys all clamored around a Chibson, a fake Gibson. There's Tom Murphy. and they're all commenting on how it's so wrong and how, what they didn't get right and what they did wrong and why this isn't correct. And Joe Bonamassa is there, by the way. So what's interesting is when they're talking about the guitar is this guy, I guess his name is Joe Glazer. He owns some sort of Nashville, Tennessee workshop here called Glazer Instruments. Like, I guess they repair and do guitars. He's got a great reputation in Nashville. Anyway, it's interesting what he says here at 1303, because they're all going over this guitar, how cheap it is. This guitar, right, is $229 shipped. $229 shipped. Okay. A Gibson Les Paul standard right now, when you buy it off the rack, $2,900 plus tax. Okay. That's a substantial difference. Okay. Listen to this. This is interesting.
It's us taking liberties, because if we do that, a guitar is a guitar. Mm-hmm. You have to any kind of music could come from a guitar, just like this. The greatest, most memorable music, in 50 years, only about 5% of that will come from expensive guitars at all.
This guy's worked on a whole bunch of guitars. This guy's worked on a whole bunch of people's guitars. And what he's saying is great music could come from this guitar. You don't have to have an expensive guitar. And he even further by saying that only 5% of music over the next 50 years will be made on expensive guitars. That's a small number, man. So, this is why I'm bringing to light the fact that these 58s, these 59, you don't need a 59. You don't need a 58. Can you imagine being the person? Can you imagine being the Tom Bukavac, the person that needs to have a 58 or 59 in his hands to believe that what he's playing is good? The only thing you can do is play an old guitar, an old vintage guitar, because that's the only way you're going to sound good. That's all. It's the only thing that's going to help you.
Vintage guitars are good. They are the best. Therefore, I am the best.
Can you imagine being in that state of mind where that's the only thing you can do is play an old guitar? That's it. You have to have a 58 to make yourself believe that you're good. Low self-esteem. Speaking of low self-esteem, look at this. We are at right here. Notice Tom's not here. Tom's not here. He's got Joe Bonamassa there. He's got Joe Glazer there. He's got Tom Murphy, one of the biggest guys at Gibson, right? Tom Murphy has a whole section of the Gibson Corporation they built for him called the Murphy Labs. One of the top guys at Gibson, right? They're all sitting there waiting, talking about the guitar, looking at the guitar, looking it over. Where's Tom? Where's Tom? Tom's not here. Where's Tom? Tom's still not here. Tom's still not here. Where's Tom? He's got Tom Murphy. Bukavac has Tom Murphy waiting on him to show up. Can you imagine the disrespect? It takes Robert Baker 6 months to get these guys all coordinated into a room, right? And who shows up late? Little Tommy Bukavac comes strolling in 19 minutes into the video.
So, just like on a 7, it'll have the 7 with the little.
There he is.
It's the
hey guys, I made it. Hey, and he's high as hell. Not only is he disrespectfully late, right? Not only is he disrespecting these guys by being late, right? Can you imagine having the number one guy, one of the number one guys at Gibson, one of the most important guys in Gibson modern day history, right? The production facility of Gibson, Tom Murphy, head of Murphy Labs. They built a whole section of their building for this guy to work in and have a staff underneath him making his guitars, Murphy age guitars, Murphy Lab guitars, And Tom can't even show up on time. Tom's got the guy waiting. Notice that Robert Baker just said, hey, let's roll, guys. We're not waiting for Tom, man. I mean, we can't wait for this guy. He shows up 19 minutes in.
Just like on a 7, it'll have the 7 with a little.
There he is. Hey, guys.
It's
Hey, guys, I'm here. I just made it. Look at him. He just made it. Yeah, I'm late. Yeah, Tom, you're late. Tom, you're late. Now, just remember this now. The whole reason Tom is here, the whole reason Tom is here is to bring his 58 burst so they can put it next to this Chibson and compare them and show you how far off this Chibson is, how horrible this Chibson is, how you can tell the difference between this cheap Chibson and a real Golden Era Les Paul. So let's see what happens. Let me see here. Hold on. Before I get to Tom pulling out his guitar here to compare it, Joe Glaser, who's worked on a lot of these guitars, talks about the intonation of the guitar. And he says basically that old Gibsons like Tom's, you can't intonate them correctly because of the scale length and because of the way the ABR bridge is built, where it's only a small little bit of adjustment. You can't get it in tune.
On a traditional Gibson, as you go up the neck, if you tune open and intonate at the 12th fret, you end up flat and come back to 0 at the 12th fret, and that goes way sharp above that.
So the greatest guitars ever made, he's saying if you intonate it on the 12th fret, below it, it's going to be flat. You're going to get to the 12th fret, it's going to be in tune. You're going to go up and it's going to be horribly sharp. So here you go, Tom. Here's a guy who's worked on more guitars than you could ever work on. You ever seen Tom at his little table in his garage, stringing up guitars, setting up people's guitars for him? Yeah, this guy's worked on literally thousands more guitars than Tom will ever touch in his whole life. And he's saying these old Gibsons, they ain't even that good because can't really intonate them that well. And the ABR bridge is narrow. They actually fatten the bridge to make an ABR2 bridge so that you would have more room to intonate it, specifically to solve this problem. But on the ABR1 bridge, the original bridge, there's only a small slot there that you can move back and forth. So you can never really get it in correctly in tune. So add that to the list. Dead pickups, good. Tone pots not functioning correctly, moist, good. Volume pot not working, good. Frets worn out, good. Paint job faded, good. Can't get it in tune because the bridge doesn't have enough room, good. That's what you want. That's what you want, guys. And not only do you want it, but you're going to pay $350,000 for it. Not only do you want a guitar with dead pickups, non-working tone pots, non-working volume pots, needs fret job, faded paint, electronics worn out and rotted, you want one of these old guitars that you can't intonate correctly. And when you get it, you're going to be paying $350,000 for it. So he points out, well, these guitars, they didn't stay in tune. You couldn't get them intonated correctly. These old Gibsons like Tom's. Now, Tom has been invited here for one reason, to bring, he's not that knowledgeable about guitars. He doesn't know that much like these guys know. Tom Murphy has a whole section of Gibson built for him. This Joe Glaser guy owns a business where he has people working under him that work on guitars all day long. Tom doesn't know that much compared to these guys. Okay, Joe Bonamassa has seen 250 plus of these old guitars. Tom hasn't even come close to that. Okay, they have him there for one reason, and that is to bring in Baby Puke, his 1958 Golden Era. His 1958 Golden Era Les Paul. That's why he's there. That's why Tom is there. Okay, so at 29:38. He busts out the guitar. Here we go.
I love Baby Puke. I really, really love Baby Puke.
This is a This is another copy. This guy brought in a good copy of a Les Paul to show him what a good copy was. Now, Tom's going to bust out the real thing here. Get ready.
Yeah, let's look at the color.
Oh! Tom, what happened, Tom? I thought you were going to bring Baby Puke. I thought you were going to bring your 1958.
I love Baby Puke. I really, really love Baby Puke.
What happened, Tom? See, Robert has been setting this up for 6 or 7 months. So 6 or 7 months ago, Tom said, "Yeah, I'll bring in Baby Puke, no problem." That was before I started making my videos about this guitar, really, and all that. A 58 is really not that great. And now that Tom has seen my videos, he's scared. He is scared. He doesn't have the balls. He doesn't have the stones to bring his 1958 Burst to compare it to a Chibson. He doesn't have the minerals. He don't have the minerals to bring his 58 Baby Puke to compare it to a Chibson. This is the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life. So he brings his gold top. Well, Tom, let me help you out here. I did a side-by-side comparison here. Here's their $229 Chibson, and here's Baby Puke. No wonder you're embarrassed. Look at this. It's faded. There's no color. It looks like a baby puked on it. Look at this one. It's red. It's yellow. It's got all its color. It's a pretty looking guitar. Now, just imagine you're in front of a grocery store. You show people this picture. Which guitar do you think looks prettier? Which guitar do you think looks better? 95 out of 100 people are going to go, well, this one. At least 95. It's probably more like 98, but somebody's going to go, well, this one looks like that. My baby used to puke a lot, and it puked on a towel, and this is what it kind of reminds me of. So I'm kind of partial to this color right here. So why do you ask? Well, because this is a modern day Chibson and this is a golden age Les Paul. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, that's a cute baby puke color though. Yeah, I like that baby puke color. Yeah, reminds me of when my baby puked on a towel. This is very nostalgic for me. Tom didn't have the guts, didn't have the balls to bring in Baby Puke, to lay it right here next to the Chibson. He didn't have the stones. He was scared. He was scared. He was nervous. He's like, well, wait a minute. What if I bring in my Golden Era $150,000 Burst and it doesn't measure up? Exactly, Tom. Exactly. That's exactly my point, Tom. And like I've said many times, these guys, not only does Tom doesn't have the guts to bring in his Baby Puke guitar to compare it to a Chibson, none of these guys have the guts to do a blind test on a guitar. There is one guy, though. There is one guy that does have the guts to do a sound comparison. That is Jitboy 1, the angry guitarist. Here's his video right here. I'll put a link down in the description so you can watch it. But he has the guts. See, the thing is, they don't have the guts to do a sound comparison because think of how embarrassing it is. Just like Tom doesn't have the guts to bring Baby Puke here to directly compare it because he realizes, he knows in his heart now after watching my videos, he knows his guitar ain't that great. It's not that special. It's not a $350,000 guitar. It's not even close to that. He's embarrassed. He's scared. He's nervous to even bring it up, to visually compare it to a $229 guitar. So sonically, you're never going to hear one of these guys that owns a 58 or 59 do a sound comparison because they're scared. They're nervous because they know it don't sound, it sounds good, but it doesn't sound like the greatest guitar ever made. It's not the greatest guitar ever made in the history of man. And then when you get embarrassed in your sound comparison and you're stuck with a $350,000 guitar, stuck, right? But when you're playing your guitar and you're telling everybody, well, this is the greatest guitar ever made, and then it's really not, it's embarrassing. But Jitboy bought his a long time ago when he had, some money from when he was younger. He played in some bands or whatever, I don't know. But he bought the guitar. He said he paid like 27 grand for it. Seems about right in the 80s, 90s. And he bought it as an investment. He knew it wasn't the best sounding guitar ever made back then, just like I did. I knew it back then too. I've known it for 30 years. I've never said anything. Anyway, he has the guts. Jitboy has the guts to do a sound comparison. And he does it in this video. Now, he's going to tell you what the results are next week. I'm not going to tell you, but what I'm going to do is I went and I just compressed the sound samples so they're one after another, right? In this video, he changes guitars and, he has to get them set up or whatever. I just took the audio from his video and then just lined them up one after another so you could just hear them one after another. Now, if you want to go guess which one's which, go to his video right here. And then next week, he said he's going to reveal the results. But we have an actual sound test. We have an actual sound test. And I am 100% calling on Tom to take this test, which I believe he won't have the guts to do it. He didn't have the guts to bring Baby Puke to compare it to a Chinese Chibson. He didn't have the minerals. He didn't have the stones to bring in Baby Puke to compare it to a cheap Chinese copy of a Gibson. He didn't have the guts. I don't think he's going to have the guts to take the sound test. Okay? But I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping one of his homeschoolers brings him over here and says, hey, Tom, show these guys how it is. Show them how you know for a fact which one of these is the 59. You can tell it out of any guitar because it's the greatest guitar ever made. So I'm hoping that Tom comes over here and takes the test. And next week, Jitboy is going to have the results from the test. I put up a little guess myself.
So this is guitar number 2. Guitar number 3. It's going to be guitar number 4. So this is going to be guitar number 5-0.
Was the 1959 Gibson 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? Leave your guess on Jitboy's video, link in the description. Jitboy shreds, huh?
I'll see you next time.